All right, we're back. Episode number 71 of the Daru Strong Podcast. I'm your host, Phil Daru. Today, we're going to talk to my boy, Ulysses Diaz, Uly Monster, the BKFC knockout artist. We had a great conversation about his startup and how he started in the sport, also street fights and all the troubles that he's been able to get into to help get him to the position that he's in now, because obviously you get yourself put in a position when you put out consistent effort. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Make sure you go ahead and check out my man's merchandise section too as well. Uly Monster, the guy puts out some dope merchandise, so make sure you do that. Now, before we get on to the conversation, I have to shout out my sponsors, right? VivoBarefoot.com. Check out Vivo. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. If you're looking for a minimalistic shoe that helps you with full foot functionality, that helps you stay strong and increase your function of your feet while still being stylish. So VivoBarefoot.com, check it out with my discount code DaruStrong at your final purchase to get 10% off. Also, the end of the year Daru Strong conference is going down December 11th and the 12th. It's the first ever conference that I'm going to be holding here in Boca Raton, Florida at the Daru Strong Performance Center. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. I have a star-studded list of presenters, guys like Joe DeFranco, guys like Dr. Bo Hightower. So make sure that you get your tickets now because they're going fast. You can go ahead and check it out, DaruStrong.com. Also, you can find it down in the link down below. And now, let's get on to the podcast.
Welcome to the Daru Strong Podcast. Daru Strong Podcast.
Let's go. Mind over matter. Put your mind somewhere else and keep going. That little voice in your head is trying to stop you from getting to where you want to be. Be successful and keep moving forward.
With your host and world-renowned strength and conditioning coach, Phil Daru.
Uly, man, tell the people that don't know, right? And we got a lot of fighters, but we also have coaches on here.
Absolutely.
Tell them, where you come from and also what you're doing now with bare knuckle and everything else. I want to get through the whole thing, how you got started and everything.
All right, cool. So, born and raised in Miami. I've always been into fighting as long as I can remember. I had, I'm Cuban, so I had family coming over from Cuba, amateur boxers. So I'd always move my hands around with them and, figure out, try to learn a little something from them.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, like middle school, I really liked it. Got into like, police athletic leagues and shit like that, boxing, amateurs. Mm-hmm. And I had kids at an early age, man. I had my first kid at 16. Mm-hmm. I had my daughter at 19, 20. So, and then I got back into amateur boxing, did amateur boxing back then. But it was hard to kind of stay in it with no money. You know what I mean? Trying to support a family as a kid and get into this. So, got away from it for a long time, man. I got in a ton of trouble as a kid. I got kicked out of schools. I went to prison as a young adult. Yeah. I was in street gangs, fought a ton on the street. So fighting always caught my attention. I always liked it. At about 35 years old, I was living in Colorado. I was part of that gold rush, you know what I mean? Yeah. And man, I just had this come to God moment. I had the come to God moment. It brought me to my knees, and I was like, man, I was just tired of this lifestyle, tired of the bullshit. Yeah. You could cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay. I was tired of the bullshit. I didn't like how I was living, man. I was lying to my kids, lying to my family, and I was caught up in the mix.
Yeah.
So I got on my knees, man. I cried. I believe in God, so I told God to just lead me in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Head straight back to Miami from Colorado. Got in the gym. Mm-hmm. About this was November, December of 2016. Okay. So I got back to Miami. I was in Fifth Street Gym. I was there when they opened up. I knew a couple coaches. They brought me in, and just got back to working out, man. And they got me a fight in Dominican Republic, January of 2017. Yeah. Won that by first round knockout, and it was like the best rush of life, man. I went into that fight as like a bucket list thing, as like I'm gonna do this to take pictures and show my kids Instagram or some shit, Yeah. And that moment when I knocked Buddy out, it was a rush of life, man. I was like, man, I think I could do this. Yeah. So got in the gym every day. Finally found out what hard work is. You know what I mean? I thought I was working hard, doing bullshit on the street. Mm-hmm. Finally got like a real legitimate, spot in the gym and working my ass off every day, stay consistent. Mm-hmm. And I've always been good to people who were good to me.
Yeah.
So it got me put in the right positions with promotions, and I fought like some nice cards in the Hard Rock and stuff like that, where looking back, like I wasn't ready for it, but I jumped at the opportunity. It came out great for me at a lot of times, and those opportunities led me to bare knuckle.
Sure.
So I had a bare knuckle fight, won in the first round knockout. That was cool. Then my next one came up, and we were backstage together, matter of fact.
Yeah.
And man, I studied my opponent. I went in there, really studying this guy. I seen that whenever you attacked him, he tried to stretch out his arms, and this was his defense. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna come at him. Just going to come at him, and hit him with that Hail Mary.
Yeah, it was a Hail Mary.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got footage of that, man.
Absolutely,
that's
man.
Crazy.
In a sense, it was a Hail Mary, because it was a crazy overhand right. But believe it or not, man, I saw myself doing it over and over.
Sure.
And the bell rang. Referee said fight before the bell rang. He said fight, and I came with a 1, 2. He stretched his arms out, and I caught him right in the jaw, man. And that moment really changed my course of life, man. It really elevated me.
That's cool.
In the Instagram world, which is bullshit, but at the same time, it's not, because we need it.
This is how we're living nowadays.
Absolutely. It really elevated me there. It got me in it rang bells all around the world.
Yeah.
I had people from Korea, Russia, Japan, everywhere calling me for interviews, which was amazing. I got into the sport as a professional at a late age, at 35. That happened to me at 39. So it was always like, yo, what's gonna be my moment? Like, what am I gonna leave behind? What's gonna be my legacy?
That's awesome.
Boom, that moment happened. And I was like, yo, now it's time to that was your moment. Now it's time to rise off of that too.
Yeah.
From that knockout, man, I hadn't spoken to my real father in about 5 years. My father's a writer. He's an author.
Wow.
He writes books, and he's a founder of this newspaper that's from Spain and all of South America. The article landed in Spain. Somebody saw it. It's like, man, I think this is Nestor's son. They emailed him. He hit me after 5 years. Like, yo, proud of you. We got a great relationship again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So a lot of dope things have happened from there.
Man, what's so great about that, man, is like a lot of people, they think after 25 it's over.
Yeah.
Especially in the athletic world.
Yeah.
Like if you're
I was there too. I was that guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
But now you can actually showcase all right, listen, man, it's not over until you say it's over.
Right.
How you're feeling and how you're doing.
Absolutely.
On a daily basis. You live young, like you think young,
Right.
you're gonna be young.
Absolutely.
Sure.
That's where my mindset is at. And for anybody watching, man, I'm 40 years old. I started at 35. I had back surgery before I started professionally fighting. I got L4, L5 surgery. I got a torn bicep from fighting.
Yeah,
I got another blown bicep from a motorcycle accident. I got knee surgery with metal in my knee from a motorcycle accident. So I like to, tell people that I'm the perfect example of it's never too late and there is no excuse. You know what I mean? Because if we were going by excuses, I have every excuse to be like, yo, I can't do it today.
Sure.
I wake up every day. It's not fucking sunshines and rainbows like Rocky says. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also that moment from the 3-second knockout got me a title fight against 𝐃𝐢𝐚𝐳, somebody that I've been a fan of fucking his whole career.
Yep.
Me and him are actually great friends now, which is dope. And I told him after the fight, I sent him a picture. And so 2005. He was starting his UFC career, had his first fight.
Uh-huh.
In 2005, I was in Florida State Prison in Prison Blues, so I sent him a picture of me and you in 2005, And it's not to knock him, it's just to really show everybody out there, like, it doesn't matter, man. Just like once you focus on something, you focus on the right thing, it's consistency. You know what I mean? My first 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights, I'm thinking like, is this worth it? Like I'm giving up what I thought was money, for peanuts. But now everything started rolling. I stay consistent, and everything just, worked itself out great, man.
Yeah, and I would probably be willing to attest that comes from your upbringing. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Talk a bit about like how you grew up in Miami, and I know it was a rough upbringing. So like when you were a kid, like how was it?
So I grew up with my mom, single mom. I never really had my dad around. Well, let me say never had my dad around.
Yeah.
We met when I was like 17 years old. I already had kids. My mom's a great mom. She stood around, but at that time coming up, she was working her ass off to put a roof over my head and clothes on my back. So I had nobody to watch me. So that's when I'm getting loose. I'm running around the streets. I'm figuring it out. I never had an uncle, a cousin, a male role model to tell me, yo, this ain't the right way. Never had that. I'm figuring it on my own. I'm doing what my friends do, you know, and so it led me into all these bad positions. I always, like I said, never had nobody telling me, yo, you're going the wrong way. So I ended up bumping my head and finally just figuring out at 35, one day I was like, damn, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
But my upbringing, it was, man, I had a great childhood. You know what I mean? I
Sure.
never, I
You
really
know what's
had.
so funny? I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
It's like,
no.
we look back at it now and we're
Yeah.
like, yo, man, it may seem to the naked eye, to the outside eye,
Right.
like, yo, that's bad. Like,
Right,
you went
right.
through some shit. But, like, you going through it in that time frame, you probably had the greatest time of your life.
Greatest time of my life. Met some of the best people in my life. They're still around.
Yeah.
And again, you know, like when I tell my story, I got a great mother. She's still around to this day. She just wasn't around, and back then it wasn't like it is now that you have 1,000 things to do. You know what I mean? Back then it was like, shit, you wait for me at home. Like, yeah, sure. I know she ain't gonna be here till 7. I'm gonna go out there and cause some ruckus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get caught up in the lifestyle. You think it's cool for a long time. You know?
Yeah. When's the first time that you got, like, really in trouble?
So first time I got really in trouble, it was in my junior year in high school, and I got in a fight at school. I hurt the kid. I get suspended. I get arrested. Get sent to juvenile, and suspended. Come off that suspension, and the day I come off suspension, I fight again. Boom, and I get arrested again. And that's when it started this like this downhill thing. And again, at that time, you're thinking you're cool. You think that's part of your lifestyle. You're trying to make a name for yourself fighting on the street.
Yeah.
You're not knowing at the time that you're looking like a fool. You know what I mean? When you look back, it's embarrassing looking back. You know, but it made me it got me to where I am today.
Yeah.
But so at 18, I signed up to the military. You know, I went through a buddy program, friend of mine. Like I said, I grew with my friends. My friends were always my family. My friends were my brothers.
Yeah.
So a great friend of mine, he was always a good kid, told me, yo, I'm going to the Coast Guard. They got this buddy program. We can go together. I'm like, man, sounds dope. Let's ride. I signed up. I turned 19 in boot camp. I turned 20 in jail, man. I signed up for 4 years. Got through boot camp. Got stationed in Panama City, Florida. It was dope. I was on a 210-foot cutter. We were rescuing Haitians, Cubans, chasing people with drugs on their boat. Never found no drugs. But it was a dope experience, man. And then they sent me to diesel mechanic school. And before I even left on the plane, man, got in a fight on the street again.
Oh, man.
Got put in jail. Got kicked out the Coast Guard and just started this downhill, slope.
What do you think was, like, the reasoning why you get into all these fights? Was it more of a respect thing, or was it more like?
I had a chip on my shoulder, man.
Sure.
I was, I always wanted to do what I'm doing now, professionally,
Sure.
and had this, you're growing up, and like I said, I grew up. I had no male role model to lead me in the right direction. So I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing. I'm trying to make a name for myself any way I could, and I was always a tough kid. I was never really, scared of fighting. So I thought, how you gonna make a name? Oh, this is how people know you, through fighting, through acting a little crazy, And again, looking back, it's not that it's embarrassing. It's that now, thank God, with my kids, I could teach them, teach them a better way. But I think that's what it was, man. I was fighting on the street to try to make a name for myself and try to leave a cool legacy behind or some shit. Have people talking about you, and all the wrong reasons.
For sure. And so, like, when you go, because I seen how you handled yourself backstage, and back in the locker room with the bare knuckle fight, because that's different. That's a different type of atmosphere.
Absolutely.
You box too.
Yeah.
And the difference between bare knuckle and boxing is way different,
Right.
in my opinion. Especially like coming from an MMA background, that's also different.
Right.
But you were really relaxed. And do you think that comes from, all the times that you've been brought up and how you think about, just life in general?
Yes, I really do. I really do think it stems from all that.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself in very bad situations many times, and I've always been able to sit back and see what's going on. And I think that's what makes a good fighter too, is being in dangerous spots, and also, like, when you're in prison, man, that shit is like, you gotta sleep with an eye open, not for none. And it's like, it kind of is like what you see in the movies, you know what I mean? There's shit going on at all times. You gotta make sure you ain't part of this shit.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, man, like, when I look at it now, when I'm in those situations, I see you back there, you know what I mean? I knew you before I actually knew you, you know what I mean? From Instagram and everything. So I found myself back there, and and it's an amazing feeling, man, to be back there with guys like Hector Lombard, you know, and all the UFC with Thiago, with guys like you. I'm like, you know, I still look back like, damn, man, I just got in this shit. It's about to be 5 years, not even 5 years yet, and I've gotten to this point. You know, I'm not where I don't get big headed, but I'm proud to be there, man. It's awesome, you know. It's awesome to be brought up in conversations. It's awesome that people know me for the 3-second knockout, you know. Look, I got a beautiful fiance right now. She wrestles for WWE, and all that stems from all these things that I've been doing right, and it just following the right path now, and everything just you know, not to sound cliche or nothing, but everything falls into place when you're doing right, man.
Yeah. That's funny, man. I had a conversation with my wife last night about it, and she was like, you know, I manifest this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, but listen to me, though, real quick. Because you can think it one way, but at the same time, you're putting in effort. So, like, you put yourself in a position to be lucky.
Right.
Because of the fact that you put in work every day.
Right.
And you did. Like, you went through situations. It allowed you to get stronger mentally and physically. And then you put in consistent effort day in, day out, which ultimately allowed you to get these opportunities.
Right.
And then when those opportunities came about, you took full advantage of the opportunities.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people get those opportunities and they falter.
Right.
The one thing that you've been able to do, and this is why I wanted to get you on the podcast, I've been watching you for a long time now, is that I see that you capitalize on all the opportunities that you have.
Absolutely.
Which is an amazing attribute for an individual to have. So the sky's the limit. You may be, what do you say, 40 now?
40, yeah.
You got the spirit of a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
I can see that when you walk into a place, right? I saw that when we saw each other back in the locker room.
Yeah.
So what do you see yourself doing, like, now, like, going further?
Man, hopefully, you know, with God's help, I got a couple good fights left in me. You know what I mean? What the thing is, I feel like now what I've done for at least for BKFC is put myself in a good position. From a 3-second knockout to a hell of a world title fight. You know, I lost a world title fight, but it was a hell of a fight we put on with Thiago.
Yeah,
so I'm looking for a great fight coming up. You know, they're telling me maybe December, and after that, you know, I got my hand in a lot of things. You know, I got a dope podcast. Shout out to Don't Blink podcast. We know we feed the homeless.
That's a dope name, by the way.
Thank you. It was born from that knockout. Yeah. You know, we help the community a lot. So I got a lot of things going on. I would love to do, you know, after I finish actually fighting, have something to do with the fight world, where it's, you know, I don't know about training people, but maybe something behind the, you know, backstage, behind the scenes, interviewing, whatever it may be.
Management, maybe.
Management, anything, you know what I mean? That's one of my assets has always been, like, I love to put people together and then big things come out of it. So maybe I gotta start making some money out of that. But back to the manifesting, you're absolutely right, man. I feel like I manifested that knockout, but what people see is that knockout, and they don't see the year of working out before that. You know what I mean? And through the pandemic, built a gym in my backyard and all that shit, and that was like the final epitome of, like, you know, and it was a great moment, man.
You get a lot of love in Miami. I know that.
Yeah.
Like, you're big in Miami.
Yeah.
And people, it's going to trickle out to other states, and it's probably already having, like you said, it's to other countries even.
Right.
You know, what do you see now? Like, all right, what's the biggest thing that you can contribute to your success as of right now, and that will go further on down the line?
What I think I can contribute from my success is just showing people, like, that it's never too late. You know what I mean? That it's never too late. That it doesn't matter what you've been through before. That if you take that first step, you know, that first step is what gets you. It gets you that you know, that keeps you going. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
And I like to call myself the people's champ, man. You know what I mean? I come from shit, man.
Yeah.
I made it out the shit. And we're making it happen now. I get to be here with you fucking talking about it, which is amazing too in itself, you know? Yeah. And I'm not special, man. I'm not special, you know what I mean? And not for nothing, none of us are special in the sense that anybody out there could do what we're doing. They just gotta stay consistent. And I think that's the key.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was gonna ask you, like, what advice would you get a younger guy now?
Yeah.
Let's say, what would you say to your younger self, 17, 18 years old, coming up now in Miami? Because let's talk about, you know, where you come from. If you had that opportunity, and you probably already have, but what would you say to them?
again, it falls back on consistency. You know, consistency over time equals success. I would tell people, like I still tell myself, like, yo, every day is not sunshine and rainbows. You know, you're not gonna get something great every day. But if you keep working, you'll get that phone call out of nowhere. Yo, I need you to come here and do this. Yeah. And I've noticed that's what keeps me going, because when you feel like, yo, what am I doing this for? You get that call. Hey, I need you to be here. I need you to do this. Yeah. We got a fight coming up. So you never know who's watching. You never know when that moment's coming. So you just got to keep moving that train forward. And trust me, once you break a certain barrier, shit comes at all times.
Gotcha. Was there any time in like training that you were like, damn, this might not be for me?
Never. I never had those moments. At the beginning, when I first got into boxing, I was 225. I was solid muscle. I was stiff as hell.
I saw that post you put up today too, by the way.
Yeah.
Keep that post up. Yeah. I'll put that shit down.
Feeling sexy. Might delete later.
Keep that
yeah, I was big as hell, man. I was stiff. Like again, I came in. I had back surgery. I had knee surgery. I'm still stiff. If you watch me fight, I'm still stiff. But you know, I got that Mexican style. Come forward. I had a lot of people, which is great to see now. So I had a ton of non-believers, you know, like especially people in the industry, and I don't blame them, because this industry is hard. Like this shit is about, like, if you can't take criticism, you gotta get the fuck out, bro, because they're gonna tell you suck, you know. And they're like, yo, dog, look, you're old, you're stiff as shit, you got all this shit wrong with you. You need to lose fucking 30-40 pounds. You know, and you know, I'm going in sparring, getting my ass whooped. Yeah. But one thing about me, which I feel is great, that I started at a late age, nothing ever brought me down. I leave sparring, getting my ass whooped, and I'll be like, yes, you know, I got a black eye. I gotta do better. You know what I mean? I gotta do better, and I learned from the shit. I never let anybody's talk bring me down, and all those people that were down talking to me back then, and I ain't even mad at them, are fucking uplifting me now. Sure. You know, and now they're like, they were the ones that, bro, I don't know if you can do it, to like, bro, I know you can do it. You know what I mean? And I don't blame them, man, because you know what? It's I had to show everybody that I had to put in the work. So now, almost 5 years down the line, they've seen I've been consistent. I'm at every show. Why do I get the love from Miami and anywhere? Like when it comes to like fighting, at least in South Florida, I get a lot of love because I show love back, man. I go, the doctors, the ringside people, the referee, you know what I mean, the coaches. I'm very respectful to everybody.
You are, yeah.
You know, and I feel like they give me that respect back, you know, and not for nothing, it's hard not to get along with me, because I'll go out of my way to get along with you, even if you're an asshole, bro. You know, I'll go out of my way, bro. You know, until it gets to a certain point, we all have that point, we're like, oh, fuck you. You know what I mean? But I haven't had that moment, man. I get along with everybody. I don't disrespect anybody. I don't talk shit on the internet. Yeah. And that comes from my street times of like, yo, I'll show up at your door, bro. Come outside. You know, I'm not trying to beat my fingers up trying to text you back and shit, you know? So all that shit's bullshit too. In our lifestyle, you can call me whatever the fuck you want. I ain't bleeding, you know what I mean? It don't count for nothing until we walk in that ring or the cage. But fighting's been an amazing life, you know. It's turned my life around. I hashtag it, fighting saved my life. It really did. It brought me out the shit. I got a beautiful fiance. My kids are proud of me. I get to do things like this with people I've admired, you know what I mean? And it's amazing. I get to fight a dude I fucking looked up to, you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, the opportunity, like I told you, the opportunities came to those that are the ones that are constantly putting in the effort and putting themselves in a position.
Absolutely.
You know? So, all right, now as far as, because I know you got into some street fights, man.
Yeah.
So what are, like, give me some stories, man. Give me one story that you can remember.
This is the thing about street fights, right? I've been in thousands of them. I went to prison for fighting on the street. I got in a fight with a cop. You know, nothing to brag about, but this is what I love about professional fighting and street fighting, because you got people who are street fighters who think they're tough. You know what I mean? But this is a street fight. I sucker punch you right now. You fall off your chair. I jump on you. You never had a chance to even do anything.
Yeah.
Now they go, all right, Phil, you're gonna fight Uly. We got 2 months to fucking prepare. Sure. You know who you're fighting. This anticipation is building up. You know what I mean? Every time you fucking close your eyes, all you see is Uly hitting you. Or Phil hitting me, and I can never get the motherfucker off me, bro. You know what I mean? That's how this shit goes. And you're working, and this motherfucker's working to kick your ass too. Then you get out there, you look at each other in the eye, and all right, you guys ready? And you come, you meet in the middle, and whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I love that. That's what made me feel like, all right, damn, this is what I love, because again, you're on the street, or you say, psh, I knocked out every motherfucker I touched, you know what I mean? Very few times I didn't knock a motherfucker out, bro, you know what I mean? if I sucker punch you, it's over with. So you know, again, you look back and it's for lack of a better word, it's a little embarrassing, you know, but we all went through it. You know what I mean? We all had our shit, especially in South Florida. Everybody's got a chip on their fucking shoulder, you know. But now, what makes me
that's a part of like in the water.
It is. No, I grew up in the mid '90s. Like, what you looking at, bro? You know, like what? But all those little moments, man, built up to what I am now, and excuse me. Now what I like is like if you are somewhere and somebody don't know who you are, and they're like, you get a little animosity. You already know yourself, like, bro, just chill, chill, right? You know, and it makes you feel better. Yeah. You don't embarrass yourself or anybody around you.
Sure.
Just chill. Now somebody gets in your space.
Sure, that's different.
You know, and then you can pick them up. Man, I told you, bro, give this man a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny, man. I got into a lot of fights when I was a kid, man, and like. As soon as I started training and actually competing, never got into
all the animosity goes away. So I grew up in a gang life, and I also grew up in martial arts. So I noticed that guys that I was in gangs with, right, or we used to run the streets with, never did any type of martial arts. We're always a loudmouth, always talking shit. Yeah. The guys who I did martial arts with, who were badasses, black belts, competed around the world, were with their hair slicked to the side. You wouldn't even know. You feel me? You wouldn't even know this guy would beat the shit out of you. So I'm like, I like the respect factor more. Sure. You know what I mean? And that carried on till now. That's why I don't talk shit to my opponents, and that's why internet's so easy to talk. You know what I mean? I might never see you, and I could say whatever the fuck I want about you. So, I stay away from all that shit. You know, I either delete your comment or I take a picture of it so we can laugh between my friends and shit. You know what I mean? But it built me to who I am today. And like I said, now in those situations, like any street situation, I'm like, I'm cool, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Has there been any of that so far since you started like really competing?
You know what? There was, man. I was telling the story yesterday to Mike. It was some traffic and road rage. Road rage is real. I don't get it anymore. I used to. I don't get road rage. I drive slow. I'm chilling. But some guys cut me off. I'm like, beep, cool. Dude turns around in his car, fucking flicking me off. I'm like,
really?
I'm like, oh no, hold up. Hold up.
Like went out of his way. He
don't know the monster's behind him. So we get to a red light. He's stuck in traffic at the turning lane. I got traffic too. So I'm like, all right, cool. Get out the car. I got the car. He goes, chill. I'm like, you just telling me fuck you, man. What are you talking about? He's like, no, chill. You gonna kill me. Like, all right, cool, man. Then when I get back in the car, my boy checks me back in reality. He's like, what are you doing, man? You ain't supposed to be doing that. I'm like, you know what? You're right, bro. I feel like this guy, I need to teach him a lesson not to do that to anybody else. You know, you don't know who
the guy look like. What does he look like?
Big black dude, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, he's like,
big black dude, and we're driving in the hood. It's his hood. You know, I guess he's feeling strong.
Yeah.
But
that's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny when like you actually check somebody,
right?
And you see, okay, what's their response?
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, they cower.
They fold. Yeah, absolutely. I the thing is now we're in the position I'm in, I hate putting people in that position. So it might happen to you too. People. You look somewhere and they're like staring at you and like, damn, I don't know if the guy recognizes me or like he's just like staring at me. You look again, all right, man, I'm just gonna stop looking that way. You know what I mean? Where before it was like, you couldn't break the stare. You know what I mean?
You probably get that more than anything now, especially being in Miami.
Yeah,
people are just gonna stare because they've seen you before.
Yeah.
They may not know where they've seen you, but they're like,
right. No, and I got the unique look where with the goatee, with the tattoos, with the hair. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's really, like I said, I'm 40. I haven't cut the hair yet, just because that's my fight look for right now, you know.
Yeah.
But you might see the pretty boy look again soon.
Oh, there you go.
You heard it first right here on Daru Strong, baby.
So what's next? You got a couple of fights lined up or anything?
Man, I'm gonna say here first. Breaking news right here.
My man.
I'm hoping December 3rd, Albuquerque, New Mexico, main event, me versus Diego Nightmare Sanchez.
Wow.
Shout out to Diego. I would love to fight him. He's a fucking legend. I've I admire him, bro. I've seen him coming up in his fights. Yeah. We're talking about that now. Mm-hmm. I know he signed with BKFC. Nice. It'd be a tough fight for me to bounce off that Thiago fight, but I'm looking forward to this one. I'm training my ass off.
No,
And,
it's a good fight for you.
Yeah.
It's a really good fight for you.
I think it's a good matchup, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's tough as they come too, and I would love to be in the ring with him.
Yeah, it'd be dope. It'd be dope.
Yeah.
So anything else that you got coming up otherwise outside of fighting?
No, this I don't know when this comes out, but this Saturday, October 9 will be
it'll actually be out Saturday.
Oh, beautiful. So yeah, well, Saturday, same day you see this, I'll be at some fights, commentating at some amateur fights right here in Dania.
Nice.
You know, I'm always working with Titan MMA. Shout out to Lex McMahon, bro, always looking out for me. Cool. And wherever there's fights in South Florida, you catch me down here.
Yeah, man. You're there.
Yeah, I'm plugged up in Vegas too, man. So I try to be out there a lot too. And you know what? Shout out to my boy Anthony Rumble. Hope you're doing better, my brother. And man, it's awesome, man. This fight world has really opened so many doors for me. I've met so many people. And
it's a small world, man.
It is a small world, and you notice that like when you see a guy that you know, for lack of a better word, that you admire, that you've seen growing up, man. Like, damn, you go meet him, like, oh shit, you're the monster. Like, how you know me? You know what I mean? It's a good feeling, man. It's cool.
Sure,
it's a dope feeling.
That's awesome.
I'm sure you get the same shit. Like, yo,
it's crazy.
you have the elites working out with you, which is an amazing thing, bro.
It's definitely awesome. Like you be able to same thing with Hector. You know, I've looked up to him and watched him.
Me too. And I train with him now, and it's amazing. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I've seen you move around. You need to get in the ring once or twice, bro.
Listen, man. Listen.
You move like better than 90% of the motherfuckers, bro.
I say they gotta pay me enough, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
I get paid too much to train the killers, man. You know what I'm saying? Social media, let them know, and the podcast too as well.
Yeah, Don't Blink podcast. You can find that on YouTube every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. We premiere the episodes. Don't Blink podcast on Instagram, and Uly ULY_monster Uly_monster on Instagram. And man, catch up on there. I run my own Instagram. I answer back. You talk shit, I'll laugh at you and block you.
I don't think anybody gonna talk shit, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
They feel safe on the internet. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's it. So don't do that shit.
Yeah, that's right.
We're from fire.
Phil, my brother, it's been amazing to be on with
sure,
you. Thank you so much.
I'm about to get
Guys,
on
I
that.
thought I was coming here to work out. When he told me we were doing a podcast, it was fucking a sense of relief, bro.
We'll get up next time.
Yeah,
though,
for sure.
All right, guys. Catch you next time.
Yes, sir.